Hello, my name is Amy Majors, and this is my classroom management presentation. I'm going to go through this very fast, and of course, I'll also send one that, goes slow enough to read. Going to start off with the class, absolutely no technology unless it's provided by me. There's no ifs, ands, or buts on this, and of course, any violation of this would result in a consequence, an offense. So, and it would be, of course, be a minor infraction. But however, it is very rude, it's very disrespectful to an instructor to have any kind of technological device. I could see even in college they'd say, pull out your phones and look this up for me or whatever. That's not going to happen in middle school and high school. Okay, what is your mission? I did include my mission. And basically, I'm saying it's my duty to tailor an education to different types of learners, and I feel that it is. Provide a positive learning environment, answer questions, treat the class with dignity and respect, and of course, in return, I want the same from my students. The Majors Plan. Of course, this is an acronym. M for mindfulness, A for achievement, J for judgment, O for organization, R for research, and S for safety. I think those are very, very important key points to learning. So I'm glad I included them there, and these are definitely things I'll be utilizing. And of course, I'll send this to you as a PowerPoint to give you a general idea of what exactly I'm taught. You can read over it, etc. I'm just going through this to kind of do an introduction. The official rules. I'm not going to go through all these, but most of them are very standard. Number 6, you'll notice, says that there will not use any electronic or cellular device. Again, I'll stay very clear with that. All students will turn in assignments on time and come prepared. That's just, very standard. One rule is that they have to do their best. Absolutely. And I felt that was good to include because it is a rule, there is a rule of thumb. Consequences ahead. So the consequences really, I have first to fit the fence. First one's going to be a verbal warning. The second one's going to be a written warning in individual conference. And the third is actually going to be a detention and parent-guardian contact. I think the first and second offense, that will be between the student and I. I might make a little daily journal note just to let the parents know, hey, had a little talk with Johnny or Susie today, yada yada. Okay, third offense, definitely think there needs to be some contact, see if that will resolve the issue. Fourth offense, definitely going to be a meeting and sent to the office. Fifth offense is going to probably most likely be determined by administration, but in-school suspension or suspension, if asked, is what I would recommend, because I certainly think that after 5 times, they're simply not getting it, and you have to go to more extreme measures. Token system is actually what I'm going to be doing for a reward system. The tokens are earned daily. And not going to go through all this, and like I said, I'll send the PowerPoint, and you're going to be welcome to read all of this. However, the tokens will actually be used in a store. You can earn up to 100 tokens a day. And this next slide will be an example of a daily token sheet. Okay. Say let's go down, or let's just start. I am where I'm supposed to be all times is worth 5 points. Well, everybody's starting off with 0, and we're actually earning points, okay? Because in life, you earn things, so that's one thing I want to implant with them. If I had to tell Johnny or Susie, okay, you're not, why weren't you in the computer lab when we said that's where we had to go? Why did you go to the bathroom? And I'm having to say this once, twice, 3 times, then if I'm saying it once, I'm probably going to knock it down to a 3. If I'm saying it twice, I'm going to knock it down to a 2. If I'm having to say 3 times, they've lost that 5 points. So thus making, if those would be the only points they would lose, they'd have 95 left over. And you'll notice at the bottom, I will have the parents sign it, and this will actually go into like an account for them. Okay, classroom procedures. Not going to go through all of these. Just going to go over the brief headings. Entering the classroom, this is pretty much what I want people to do. When they enter the classroom, I want them in numerical order. They're going to wait to enter. I'll take the roll as they enter the class. They need to enter, and as soon as they enter, all homework there'll be a metal tray at my desk. I want it turned in before they even sit down. That way we're not raising hands. Are we going to turn in our homework? We're going to go over our homework? No. I'm going to grade your homework, and then we're going to go over your homework. Because there's no sense in going over homework that you already completed, and then, somebody doesn't have it done, and then we're cheating. We're getting into a lot of stuff like that. And I put at the bottom there, we'll do a history starter. It's going to be something that I will select from their text, or I'll give them a handout as they walk in when I'm taking the roll. Something for them to get their time started, and that's going to be kind of like a journal. I want them to reflect on history because history is obviously very important. During class, raise your hand, ask a question, make a statement. Let's put their hands down when another is called on. I really don't understand why that was never really put into focus in classrooms, but if several people are raising their hand and then one person gets called on to answer, everyone should lower their hand. Just etiquette. Not going to be getting up to throw trash or sharpen pencils, converse with others. These things should be done prior to starting class or even after class. Respect themselves and others. Sit up straight, not laying your head down. It will be a class of respect. Class dismissal. I'll give a 5-minute heads up. At that time, assignments, trash, and binders for play. So they want to clean up their areas or assist with others, and that's fine. They'll line up in numerical order. All students should be quiet. This is kind of their time to go, like debriefing. Okay, class is almost over. I'm ready to go, etc. Makeup work. This is kind of my policy for makeup work. Your charting must come into class. Place your note on teacher's desk. Sit quickly. Grab their folder and start the current assignment. If you're absent from class, you're responsible for obtaining assignments and notes when you come. If you're ill or something like that, I put at the bottom, if you're ill, then have your parent or guardian call me for the assignment list. Obviously I wouldn't hold something against the child if they were sick. However, if there's not a valid reason why they did not attend class and they have no excuse, then obviously that's going to reflect poorly. Turning in homework. It's all homework is turning into the designated tray when you walk in the class. If any work is taken up, like any classwork, it's going to be passed to the left, and I'm going to come down and take it. Person at the end of the set of tables will pass the paper forward. Name, date, assigned number, and title, and that's one thing they will have at the very first day is an assigned title. Any homework with the same answers will result in a 0 and loss of tokens for all involved. Basically, if you're going to share your homework, you're just as guilty as the person copying. Okay, and emergency directives. Those are within this PowerPoint. Going to lockers, restrooms, office. Probably not going to be very happy among the kids to know that, students are only allowed to lockers before class. That's end of story. If your homework's late or you left it in your locker, I understand accidents happen, but in life you don't always get to go back and repeat that, so you will have to take a late grade. Bathroom requests will be handled as they are requested. I would never tell anybody they didn't have to go to the bathroom. Please, they shouldn't interrupt my class to ask to use the restroom. Wait until I finish the lesson and have assigned work. But, if it's an emergency and they have a doctor's note or something, that's completely understandable. Office visits are at my discretion. Everything should be taken care of prior to coming to school. If an office visit is mandatory, like, a student got a call about an ill relative and they're very worried, having some anxiety, things like that, then I would direct them to the office, perhaps the counselor, to discuss something like that. It'll be on a case-by-case basis. You can't say that one thing is going to appeal to everything. Class discussion to only work with respect for one another. Let each person talk. Class rules, rights, and responsibilities for classroom etiquette. Teacher is the discussion leader unless otherwise noted. That's point blank. Testing, going to be very difficult. There's no talking. Once you have completed your test, you are to complete one of the options listed, which I will put some options on the board for them to do. Write a story, do this, do that. All tests will be handed directly to me. Any materials needed for the test will be provided by me. It is not, I even put in here, it's not wise to attempt to cheat. The questions are different and there are multiple versions of the test. I will actually take extra time to create many versions of the test, and I will scatter them throughout the class simply because, if you cannot trust every student in class to make the right choice, so I can trust that I made the right choice by making various tests, and therefore if that is an attempt, then I'll obviously know. Group work, signed by the teacher. You'll get a group grade as well as an individual grade based on your involvement in the classroom. Each member must participate in order to receive credit, and I will be watching. Each member will grade each member to be turned in to the teacher for evaluation and consideration toward the final grade. Kind of like constructive criticism. Classroom interruptions. The door is the knock at the door is answered by me. Students should remain working while visitors in the classroom. Students are not to speak to other students who come into the classroom. Students are not allowed to speak to each other unless in a group activity. It sounds harsh, but it's for their learning. And in a job, you can't just do what you want. And we're ultimately training people to be adults. Classroom rules and expectations. Let's see. I put, enters class quietly, brings all. It's just all here. Be polite and respect. And these are something that they will learn in the first week of school. We will practice these things, and that's ultimately what it is. As far as the discipline, I want my kids to know that discipline is not because I think you're a bad kid or anything of that nature. Discipline is to help you. Okay, and on to my parent contract. I will actually send a packet out. And this packet will be, I'll have the letter to the parent like I have on the left-hand side. Dear Miss Majors, I am pleased to have Stone Majors in my 2014-2015 social studies class. Stone is my son. Something along those lines. And of course I'll have a table of contents. This will be very much laid out like a book, so it'll be easy for them to read and understand and keep. Rights and responsibilities. I did want to include this because I put rights and responsibilities. You have to. Here's an example. Let me get to the last one. I want my students to understand that with, a lot of kids are notorious for saying that's against my rights or something like this today. Okay. When I have a rule in play, like everybody should try their best. Well, you have a right to a fair education. You have a responsibility to perform your best. Everybody should be respectful. Mindfulness, I use on the majors play. And you have the right to say your opinion with appropriate classroom language. You have a responsibility to respect others, the opinion of others. It's really about learning rules, rights, and responsibilities. And that's something we will practice throughout the year because ultimately it'll be a social studies class, so that would definitely be important. Communication journal will be sent home daily. Just kind of letting them know what they've got and the tokens, how many tokens they received. Contract signature, this is kind of what it would look like. I just want them to initial that they've read each one. And once they return it, then we have a contract between the three of us, the teacher, the student, and myself. And that will kind of conclude. I will definitely submit this as a PowerPoint presentation and give you time to read. Just want to kind of give a chance to go through it. You actually hear my voice and hear me kind of explain a few things. But anyway, have a lovely evening. Enjoy the summer, and I will see you on the latter part of August. All right. Have a stellar night. Thank you.